I'm Ashan Singh. It is Friday, August 14th, and you've got questions and we've got answers. This is Search. We're breaking down what you're asking right now in real time. Let's get right to it. We've got our Maya Ephraim here. She oversees our online search trends. Maya, happy Friday. What are people searching for today?
Hi, Ashan. Happy Friday. The NFL preseason is in full force this week, driving a lot of interest as football fans get their first look at the 2026 rookie class. In Las Vegas, Raiders rookie quarterback Fernando Mendoza generated major search buzz. Meanwhile, people were looking for injury updates after 49ers quarterback Curtis Rourke was hospitalized. And while preseason interest is solid, what fans really want to know is what all these early games mean for the real season when it kicks off. Turning to Luigi Mangione's high-profile legal case, Mangione admitted to shooting UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson as he pleaded guilty to 2 federal stalking counts today. Searchers are looking up an explainer on the charges and trying to understand his motive. People are also really interested in Mangione's and Thompson's families and what they have said about the case. And in weather, Tropical Storm Lala continues to trend as it tracks through the central Pacific Ocean. It's forecast to strengthen into a hurricane as it approaches the Big Island of Hawaii tomorrow. Ashan, the overwhelming searches right now are for the tracker and potential flash flooding.
Wow, a lot to get into today. Maya, appreciate you. Let's dive a little deeper into the story that you guys can't stop asking about. We got week 1 of the 2026 NFL preseason. We've got our WABC sports anchor, Sam Ryan, here to break it all down for us. Sam, we're fully in it, and everybody seems to be searching that Niners-Titans game from last night. Niners couldn't pull it out at home. What do we know about that game?
Yeah, their home opener, Ashan, but as we know, this is the preseason. We're keeping an eye on the rookies. The Niners, they did rest most of their starters, while the Titans and Robert Saleh, he played his starter. So the Titans, a little bit of a discrepancy there. There is some, some concern and some questions about Cam Ward for the Titans in this one. Struggled a little bit, but after the game, they were saying, this is, something to build on, that they can build on this and they can learn from that. But Robert Saleh getting the win on the road against the 49ers, who were resting most of their starters. This is the preseason, though.
Yeah, hopefully it's not a sign of a sophomore slump for Cam Ward. But I want to talk a little bit about the Niners, Sam, because it seems like every year there's a little bit of skill position drama there. People are wondering about Ricky Pearsall. Is he going to be able to suit up for the Niners this year?
Not this year. He suffered a PCL injury. This is something he suffered last year, had the surgery just a short time ago. He took to social media just yesterday, post-surgery. This is the PCL surgery that he had, reconstruction surgery on that right knee. Something that was bothering him. It flared up again during training camp. There was a lot of swelling, so he had to get it taken care of. But this is a 9-month recovery. So this takes him off the field for 9 months. So they will be playing without him. Obviously, that one is a tough loss for the Niners, but he's focusing now on just getting healthy and the recovery process and just trying to keep the spirits high.
Yeah, all of a sudden that Deebo Samuel pickup looks a lot more important. But let's head over to Pittsburgh versus the Green Bay Packers. I feel like during the regular season there'd be so many storylines here between Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers,
Aaron Rodgers.
But to break down this preseason matchup, because I understand all the points were scored by the rookie kicker on the Packers.
Trey Smack, you want to talk smack?
We're
going to talk smack. Yeah, let's do it. I've been waiting for that. So what he did was just impress. Okay, so their offense, they were leading them on drives, but for the Green Bay Packers, and it was Trey Smack who got it done. He had 3 field goals in this one, including a 58-yarder. Matt LaFleur praising his rookie, because this is about pressure, this is about poise, and when your offense leads you down the field, that drive down the field, he capitalizes and puts the punctuation mark with the field goals. And for the rookie, good job by him, because this is, when we see it in the preseason, this is where players can win jobs and this is where players can lose their jobs.
Yeah, it's got to be such a good feeling, especially I feel like rookie kickers get the toughest, pull the toughest straw in terms of coming to play in the preseason. But before I let you go, Sam, preseason is here and it's already the top search of all the sports. What does it say about the power of the NFL that these games barely matter, and yet people are driven crazy by them online?
Yeah, this is 2 weeks in a row that we were talking about the preseason. We talked about this last week as well. And we have a full slate today. People want to see their teams and they want to see the rookies. They want to see, what they can do on the field. We have the Jets and the Buccaneers later tonight. The Giants play tomorrow, their first preseason game under John Harbaugh. So a lot of excitement, a lot of new energy going into this new season. And, it's now a full slate of games this week, week one, the first full week of the NFL preseason.
I can't even imagine what these search numbers are going to look like when the regular season week one takes place. Sam Ryan, thank you so much. All right, let's get to Luigi Mangione pleading guilty to federal charges in the killing of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Criminal defense attorney Bernardo Villalona been tracking this all day for us. Bernardo, thanks so much for joining us. Tell me about how Luigi pled today. What do we know?
So we know that it was in his federal court charges in federal court that he pled guilty to the indictment. He ate the indictment because he pled guilty to all the charges that remained on that indictment, which were 2 counts of stalking. So in that plea, he actually allocated and admitted to killing Brian Thompson, but specifically he said that he traveled through interstate commerce and was stalking Brian Thompson with the intent to actually kill him. But he also gave us some background information. He gave us the motive. He gave us the why, which wasn't actually required as part of the allocution to this judge. So now we know that he had suffered some issue with his back, where he had back surgery, and he was upset as to the handling of his medical condition with the health insurance that he had. Well, we do know that there's no guarantee as to what is the sentence he's going to face in federal court. Being that the plea came straight in front of the judge with no agreement from the prosecution, Luigi Mangione is at the mercy of the judge, and the judge will ultimately decide whether he's going to be facing a set amount of years or whether he can still be facing life when he gets sentenced in a few months.
Yeah, Bernardo, break this down from your perspective, because this seems to be such a big question on search. Is why did Luigi Mangione actually plead guilty? Could this be part of a plea deal?
No, it's not a plea deal at all, because when you're talking about a plea deal from the prosecution offering you something, you're getting something in return, whether it's a lesser amount of years that you're being offered, or you're being offered a special placement at a specific jail. But you don't have that here. I mean, I think why he pled guilty is, number one, the enormous amount of circumstantial evidence that was against him. You got the surveillance video, you got the book bag where the firearm was recovered, you got that manifesto. They tracked him to Pennsylvania. So all of that was very strong evidence as to his guilt. And defense attorneys didn't believe that they will be able to successfully prevail at the time of trial in federal court. Remember, state court, let's leave that separate because that is still open. But also why he pled guilty is because the defense attorneys are hedging all their bets that the state prosecution is going to be dismissed on double jeopardy grounds. And it's the state prosecution that if he's found guilty of the murder in the second degree is 15 years to life up to 25 years to life, as opposed to in the federal court system, he can face a determinate amount of years, anywhere ranging from 10, 15, but even the defense attorney said anywhere from 24 years to about 30 or something years. So having to do with that. But also, he wants to serve his time in federal jail because it's a better prison system than the state system. Various reasons why he pled guilty. We'll ultimately find out, was it all worth it when the judge determines what sentence Luigi Mangione will serve.
Bernardo Villalona, you make it make sense. I appreciate you, sis. Thanks so much. Have a good weekend. And time to tee up the storm system moving through the Central Pacific. Tropical Storm Lala. I've got our senior meteorologist, Melissa Griffin, with a forecast. Melissa, tell me a little bit about this storm system right now, because people are searching, why is it dangerous?
Yeah, Ash, and you know what? Hawaii is in the middle of the ocean, so you would think they'd be susceptible to hurricanes, but it's actually quite rare for a hurricane to make a landfall on the islands. If it does make a landfall on the Big Island, that would be the first time on record. So let's talk about where Tropical Storm Lala currently is sitting. It's about 365 miles east-southeast of the Big Island, moving rather quickly, west-northwest at 12 miles an hour. The winds are now at 60 miles per hour, but we do expect it to strengthen potentially into that hurricane strength as it approaches the islands this weekend. Here's the track. It could become a Category 1 hurricane as early as tomorrow morning, and then we're looking at that possible landfall right there on the Big Island that Saturday evening, still as a Category 1, 75-mile-per-hour winds, and then it kind of skirts just to the south of the rest of the island chain, still remaining a high-end tropical storm before jetting out to sea and moving away from Hawaii.
Unreal. Melissa, so you said that this could actually strengthen to a hurricane before it even makes landfall. What's the threat risk there?
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we're always concerned about those hurricane force winds. That does become dangerous, especially when those gusts reach upwards of 75 miles per hour. Of course, life-threatening storm surge, rough surf, but it's the rain that I'm really most concerned about because so many parts of the islands are mountainous regions, and that means they're very susceptible to mudslides and landslides. But look how much rain is on the way, especially for the eastern half of the Big Island. We could see more than 2 feet of rain throughout the weekend, even places like Honolulu, upwards of half a foot of rain. So really, the rain, the flash flooding, the mudslide threat across these mountainous areas, that's what I'm most concerned about. And that last Saturday into Sunday, potentially into early next week, as some of these dangers could linger, Ashen.
Scary stuff. Sending our best wishes to those in Hawaii right now. Melissa, thank you so much for that forecast. Appreciate you. We just ran through your top searches, but what else is on your timeline? Let's get back to Maya. Maya, what else is trending on this Friday?
Ashan, a new website called Have I Been Flocked is trending today as drivers look up whether their vehicles have been tracked. The searchable online tool uses public records and audit logs from police departments to let people check if their license plates have been searched in the Flock Safety License Plate Reader networks. And Oreo is generating a sweet and savory debate online after announcing a new fan vote lineup featuring 3 limited edition flavors. They include banana pudding, deep fried Oreo, and chicken and waffles. Snack fans are taking to search to look up when they'll hit shelves. Ashan, which flavor are you trying first, and why is it the chicken and waffles?
You already knew. Literally right
it.
before I said anything. The banana pudding sounds really good, and so does deep fried Oreo, but like you had chicken and waffle Chick-fil-A yesterday. You got me chicken and waffles are on the brain. I gotta try it. I just have to know, Maya. Come on.
It's a trend.
Maya, I appreciate you. Coming up, one search always leads to another. We've got a trending topic, but that's just the surface. We're talking new school versus old school when it comes to using AI. We got The Spiral. It's up next. Welcome back to Search. Today's top searches are only part of the story. A simple scroll can sometimes take you down a deep rabbit hole. It's time now for The Spiral. All right, and you guys can't stop asking questions about using artificial intelligence, and we're following your clicks and curiosity. Looks like you guys want to know how it could help in the classroom and the challenges that could come with it. So let's break it down. We've got Amanda Bickerstaff up first, then Kate Conroy. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. Let's start with some students and teachers embracing the use of AI. We've got the CEO and co-founder of AI for Education, Amanda Bickerstaff. Really appreciate you being here, Amanda. You're a former high school biology teacher. What led you to co-create AI for Education?
Well, it's really interesting. I started AI for Education the first time I ever used ChatGPT. I realized as a former teacher, but also an ed tech CEO, this was a transformative technology we've been talking about for a long time. But I also realized that it is really not intuitive. And if you didn't have like genuine AI literacy training, you wouldn't know how to use these tools in safe and responsible ways.
Yeah, how do you make sure it's responsible? I mean, your companies help school and educators nationwide actually maximize what you say is responsible and equitable adoption of AI. What does that actually mean and look like?
Well, for us, I think Gen AI literacy is all about informed decision making. And the first decision should be, should I even use this tool? Because I think right now what we're seeing is that if it's used as a reflex or something you always turn to, it actually can impact learning or even professional judgment. So what we want people to feel comfortable is being able to be in charge of their own use. And then when they start using these tools, can they do that in a way that keeps their privacy safe, that keeps their ethical mindset? Are you being academically integral? But also, are you using it in a way that's truly valuable?
Yeah, Amanda, this feels like a topic that's dividing so many people, but it doesn't look like AI is going anywhere. What are your response to concerns that AI is crippling the academic career progress of students who depend on it? Like, how do we draw the line, and how do you actually get people to come to the table here?
Well, I think the first thing we always find is if we actually talk about what's really happening, we know we have to address this. A new Common Sense Media report said that 85% of 9 to 17-year-olds are using generative AI for schoolwork. And then if you look at what's happening in schools, less than a third of those students have received any AI training and even anything on safety. And so I think the first thing is we have to acknowledge that this is not going away. But our young people are on their own, which I think we learn with social media and other digital literacies, is that you have to really address this. Otherwise, how could you expect a young person to be responsible?
Yeah, Amanda, for educators who may be on the fence about using AI in the classroom because of issues like cheating, plagiarism, and subject literacy, what do you say to actually ease their concerns? Is there sort of a one-size-fits-all argument?
Well, I think the first thing is that we need to understand how these tools work and start building critical distrust, but also understand it can have value. So young people that learn how to use these tools really effectively and with safety in mind can start to do things that were impossible before. You can build study tools that are bespoke for you. We even have young people designing their own companies at a really young age and vibe coding and building the things they've always wanted to. And I think one of the things about equity is that not every student's going to have a tutor or a parent at home. And if they are learning how to use these tools with the right type of support, especially in high school and college, to help them kind of lower that gap between where they can be and like where they are and where they can be, I think is a really important conversation. But we do know that academic integrity is the primary issue that teachers are seeing. And so it has to be a conversation, and there needs to be a discussion about how do we shift practice to start to preserve cognition. But also, I mean, we have to meet our kids halfway.
No, it definitely makes a lot of sense, and it really does feel like these school systems are drinking through a fire hose when it comes to keeping up with the technology. Amanda Bickerstaff, thank you so much. Let's bring in Philadelphia high school teacher Kate Conroy. Kate, thank you so much for joining us. You're not in favor of AI in classrooms. Explain to us why.
Thank you, Ashen. So yes, we have a loneliness epidemic here in America, and we have a mental health crisis amongst teenagers. Kids are begging for human connection and authenticity, and to put them behind screens is to remove opportunities for them to have social development and also for joy. And now I'm a young millennial, so I love a good meme as much as anyone else, but we all know that laughing at a meme on our phone is not the same thing as sharing a joke with our friends and family. And I really believe that all of our students deserve that kind of social, communal, joyful experience in the classroom.
Yeah, Kate, no, and I totally hear you, but we both know that screens have become an integral part of the classroom experience, and now AI is becoming embedded into our culture and workforce. Should students be learning and adapting to this technology, or is it just kind of like we should put it away until a certain point where they're ready in your mind?
Well, I don't see any scenario in which AI is appropriate for high school. I teach 12th grade English, so I am very, very focused on what kind of skills my students will need in their next phase of life. But I'm not really interested in this argument that students will be left out of the job market if they're not playing with ChatGPT in high school. What all young people need are social skills and confidence in their own ideas. And if we're encouraging students to use AI, even as a thought partner, I think the message we're sending to students is that their own ideas aren't good enough. And I don't think any teacher really wants to send that message to their students.
Yeah, I totally hear you. So what are you hearing from students, Kate, firsthand about this technology? Are you seeing them sort of embrace this tech, or are they kind of eager to unplug? Like, from where you sit, what's it like on the day-to-day?
Well, teenagers, just like adults, they have a variety of opinions. And even though AI is banned from my class, it is definitely a frequent topic of discussion. Many of my teenagers are very vocal about their dislike and distrust of AI. They know that people of all ages are using AI in place of their brains, and they're really concerned about coming of age in this world where it's so easy to just stop thinking. They're concerned about not just their own futures, not just their own economic prospects, but also about democracy and the impact this could have on safety in the world.
Yeah, for sure. So, Kate, what do we do about all this? I mean, as a high school teacher, how do you actually plan to regulate the use of artificial intelligence by students in your class? And does it ever feel like it's too little too late?
I think that the best way is to focus on learning in the classroom and the communal experience of learning together. My students produce works on paper that absolutely knock the wind out of me. They make me laugh so hard that I cry in discussion. And it's really important because teachers are really burning out in the workplace, and we already have a teacher shortage. And I think if we can focus more on the joyful experience of learning, both for the adults and the students in the classroom, we can all have a much better experience of education in America.
Kate Conroy, thank you so much for joining us and appreciate the work you're doing. Have a good last couple of weeks before you get back to school. Still ahead, it might be at the top of your feed, but what's the vibe? We've got your top pop culture and entertainment searches with Roxy Diaz, including Nicole Kidman getting real about her past relationships. We got the vibe check. It's next. Right, it's time now for our vibe check, a look at what's buzzing in entertainment and pop culture. Our Roxy Diaz joins me now for more on what's trending on your feeds. Happy Friday, Rox. What's the vibe, sis?
Happy Friday to you. So Nicole Kidman is processing out loud. In Vogue September issue, the star reflects on her divorce from Keith Urban after 19 years, finalized in January with shared custody and no spousal support. Her description of the moment is strikingly honest. Free falling, jumping off, like where am I going next? And what's next? She also looked back with fondness on marrying Tom Cruise at 22. We just fell madly in love and it was that simple, recalling how she shrugged off career warnings. So what? I wasn't meant to marry the man I love? And asked if any lessons carry over between heartbreaks. Her answer was perfect. She said, it's all new every time. Now, heartbreaking news for a generation of Nickelodeon kids. Christine Knowings, beloved from the sketch comedy series All That, has passed away at 46. A family member told TMZ she suffered an asthma attack and that caused brain damage. Her manager is telling Variety that she was taken off life support Tuesday at an LA hospital. Knowings shined on All That from 1997 to 2000. She's the second All That cast member lost this year, following Kiana Underwood in January. And for everyone who grew up on Snick, this one definitely hits home. And last but not least, Marvel fans assemble in Anaheim. D23, the ultimate Disney fan event, kicks off Friday, and while there's no standalone Marvel panel this year, the studio is riding its Comic-Con high with appearances across the weekend celebrations that truly centerpiece everybody that loves the 65 years of Spider-Man, with that being the moment in the spotlight for box office. That box office monster brand new day, Spidey has Amazing Friends and Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man Season 2, plus promise exclusive sneak peeks and behind-the-scenes stories. Everything that's going to be happening in D23 is going to be absolutely amazing. I know Ginger Z is out there. The event runs from August 14th through August 16th at the Anaheim Convention Center and Honda Center. And a reminder to our viewers that Disney is the parent company of Marvel Studios and ABC News. It's a party in Anaheim right now.
You already know. That's the place to be. Roxy Diaz, thank you so much.
Thank
All right,
you.
I'm Ashin Singh, and this is Searched on ABC News Live, where your questions meet real answers. We'll leave you with what's trending right now on abcnews.com. You can scan that QR code right there to catch up, and we will see you back here on Monday. Have a great weekend and be safe.